Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Swing Wing Sing here today with another new unboxing video. Today we have a very interesting aircraft, the Spitfire in 1/48 scale from Arai. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's how I pronounce it, Arai. It could also be Ari, I don't know. So this is the Spitfire Mark 8 version. About 4 years back, I had already done a build of this particular model. So if you want, you can check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below. I had built that in the Indian Air Force scheme, but this time I am going to build it out of box in the scheme that is available. Now, the Spitfire is very dear to me. The reason being, this is the very first aircraft model that I had ever held in my hand as a child. So my father, he brought me one Spitfire Chuck glider. Of course, I did not know at that point, and I asked my father what aircraft this is. He told me that it's a Spitfire, so I agreed. And yes, it's just nostalgia that when I go back into my childhood days and think of the shape that the wings had, I can easily recall that yes, it was a Spitfire Chuck glider. Now, another funny thing is that during my childhood, I never knew that this is the front of the aircraft and this is the rear of the aircraft. So the way I used to fly, I can take this Hornet as an example. I used to think that this is the front, so this is how I used to fly it. Well, that's very funny till my dad saw me doing it, and then he told me that this is the rear and this is the front of the aircraft. Anyway, so I digress. Coming back to the unboxing that we have today. So the Ari 1/48 scale Supermarine Spitfire. So you can see here, this is the box art, and I think this is the standard Royal Air Force marking. I'm not sure about that. Doesn't look like Royal Air Force, but probably looks like Finnish Air Force or something. But we'll have a look at what's inside the box. If I turn it around to the longer edge, so you've got the two schemes. The left one is the kind of desert camo scheme, and the right one is the standard Royal Air Force gray, blue, and green scheme. So I will be building this particular scheme out of box. Okay, so moving to the right, there is some gibberish here for me. Of course, this looks like, I don't know, Chinese or Japanese. So it says made in Japan, so it's obviously Japanese that they've written here. So that's the first longer edge. The shorter edge here, basically easy to assemble, all plastic 1/48 scale airplane series kit. It gives you the kit number A333-600 with the same box art. The other longer edge has a lot of other models, probably the models that this particular manufacturer has done over the years, and similarly on the fourth side. Nothing at the back, so let's quickly open the box and see the goodie. So before that, I went on to the ScaleMates site to check how old the tooling of this box is. And as I scroll down, you see that the very first company to make this tooling was Otaki. And that was way back in 1975, so even before I was born. And then over the years, this kit has been reboxed by various other manufacturers like Ertl, Matchbox, and Airfix. And the final reboxed version was released in the year 2000, which was again reboxed by Arai. So that's the tooling that I am currently building. So it's a pretty old kit. So here we are. The first thing that we are greeted with is the sprue bag. All the sprues are there inside this, so we'll keep that to the side for the time being. We've got a very, very old and yellowed decal sheet. I don't know how useful this is going to be. Just leave them in the sunlight for a couple of days so that the yellowness goes away, and then I'll probably put a gloss coat over it and then use these decals. So that's the decal sheet, and this is of course the Royal Air Force markings, and not really sure which country that is. Looks like Finnish, but we'll see. And then we have this instruction sheet here. So, oh, we also have the color guide here. Okay, so this one says it's from 145 Squadron, flown by Squadron Leader GRS McKay, 1944, and this one is the LF-8, JF-814, flown by Air Vice Marshal Sir W.F. Dixon. So that's an interesting scheme. So that's the one that I'm going to go with. Nothing at the back here. And looking at the instructions. Okay, so we've got the sprue map here with 1, 2, and 3 sprues, and the 4th clear sprue that they show here. We also have a pilot figure, but he's kind of standing with his hands tied at the back. I don't know why they would have a standing pilot, but he also has probably a base that you can mount this pilot on. Sad they don't give a pilot that can sit inside the cockpit. So standard black and white steps, very simple. It's got 9 steps of assembly, and then followed up with a camouflage color guide here and the decal guide as well. And now something interesting. So I'm bringing out the color callout guide, or you can say the color picture of the Spitfire. And here you can see on this tropical version, it says LF-8. Now LF basically stands for the low level flight, or the low flight wing, which means it should have been a clipped wing. However, you see in both these pictures, it's showing the full wing, the full rounded wing. It's not the clipped wing Spitfire. And I don't even know if they do give you the option to clip the wing somewhere. But we'll see that during the build, because when I did that about 4 years back, I never found a clipped wing option available during that time. So we'll see if that option is really there. I may have skipped it 4 years back, but let's see how it turns out. So that's the box, and now let's have a look at the sprues here. So here we are. Some of the parts are just falling off. Oh, we've got a stupid looking glue tube. Just throw it aside. Looks like, I don't know if these are the landing lights or what, so I'll keep that. So here's the clear part. Looks good, quite clear, no issues whatsoever. And here's the first sprue. Oh, okay, so the parts are already falling off. Anyway, so here's the first sprue. The panel lines look kind of shallow. Even the rivet detail is kind of shallow. It might probably, let me turn on the camera light here. So here's a look at the detail, rivet detail, panel line detail, very, very shallow. I know this is going to get obliterated under even one single coat of paint, but we'll see. I'll probably darken these panel lines a little bit, or use, dark pre-shading to bring out these panel lines. But nice looking sprue here, good interior inside the cockpit, as you can see on these 2 sprues. So there's some good interior detail as well. I think there will be a few parts also that will go inside, so that's something that we'll look at. So that's the first sprue done. Here's the second sprue. This has the propeller. It's got the cockpit interiors, the seat, and here's the pilot figure that I was talking about in the standing pose. Kind of looks like he's standing with his hands tied to the back. There's a dent inside the back of this pilot. Probably somebody shot him, I don't know. But yeah, that's what he looks like. So I'll paint him up. It looks good in 48. And then of course the exhaust detail out there, and we've got the undercarriage out here. So that's the second sprue, and the third sprue, of course, the standard trademark Spitfire wings. So upper two halves, the lower half is a single assembly. The rivet and panel line detail seems to be good on the underside and top side on the wings. And as you can see clearly, there's no option to construct a clipped wing Spitfire. There we are. So that completes the unboxing of the Spitfire. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please click the like button. Do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you want to watch more of this content, please click on the bell icon so that you receive all future updates. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the build video. Bye bye. Take care.